life? Is it hard?
Welcome to Breaking the Silence with Arthur, Nick, and Nicole, a podcast that dives deep into stories, struggles, and triumphs of extraordinary individuals. Join me as I explore powerful narratives, uncover hidden truths, and celebrate the voices that refuse to be silenced. Whether it's personal journeys, social issues, or inspiring achievements, the episodes are designed to enlighten, engage, and empower. Get ready for some candid conversations, thought-provoking insights, and a community that believes in the power of speaking out. Let's break the silence together. Welcome to another episode of Breaking the Silence with Arthur, Nick, and Nicole, where you can unleash your inner voice. I'm back again, y'all, with another amazing guest. This one is special to me because I actually know her. We grew up together. So she's a native of Mullins, South Carolina, 1996 graduate of Mullins High School stand-up auctioneers. I am so excited. She has 23 years of experience as a professional licensed counselor. She founded her own private practice called Heart to Heart Empowerment. I am so proud of her, and I'm excited about putting the spotlight, y'all. I'm so ready to get into this conversation. So, after the countdown, please welcome Miss Carisa Gerald to the Breaking the Silence platform.
I'm healing. Things are looking better now. I'm slowly healing. I've been suffering for such a long, long time, but I made it over and I'm healing.
I love that song. That was a good song choice. That song will make you break down.
It will.
How you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for coming on my platform. It's always a pleasure to have somebody that I actually grew up with, been around, to come on the platform and support me. I really do appreciate you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
So tell everybody a little bit about yourself. I know I told a little bit, but tell everybody a little bit more about yourself.
All right, so I'm Carisa Gerald. I am a native of Mullins, South Carolina, home of the auctioneer, just as Nikki, Nicole. And so, as she stated, I have worked in human social services for over 23 years. And later in my career, I got licensed as a licensed professional counselor. I actually worked for numerous years before I got licensed. But now I'm on this amazing journey in my own private practice. And it has been a wonderful journey. Yeah.
So how did you start the journey as a counselor? You know, some people start off with counseling with, coming up around people giving them advice or something like that. It's automatically in you. So what made you say, you know what, this is what I want to do?
I think for me, it was the same. People were always coming to me. I always enjoyed helping people. And so, I was doing like case management and various things, training and other things in the field before I went clinical. And so also a big part of it for me was healing from my own traumas. And so when I started I took 6 months in between my undergrad from Francis Marion before I started my master's program at Webster. And during that time, I had experienced some things. And going through school and the process, it really helped me. And so when I first finished college, I didn't really know, if I wanted to get licensed. And actually, at that time, like in 2002, it wasn't a requirement to be licensed to work in the field. And so that's what I just continued to work before I pursue the licensure part. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So you said it's rewarding. So what do you find most rewarding about being a counselor?
For me, being able to be my authentic self while I help other people along their healing journey. And especially being an African American um, person in working in mental health. Like that's a big thing, especially in the South, because of course, we were raised under the nuisance of what happened in this house stayed in the house. Mental health wasn't a very big thing for us, for our elders, and so that has been a big part of my journey. Yeah, and what inspires me to do what I do.
So, everybody says, there's therapy in Jesus. And, like you said, we were taught that therapy wasn't suggested. You had what goes on in my house stays in my house. So, how
Mhm.
is it, more difficult for you to have that mindset and be like growing up on that mindset to now doing just that counseling?
Well, being able to find my own voice and recognizing that, sometimes what's in the house is toxic. And growing up in the church, one of my slogans, and I'm not sure if I shared it with you, is you can have Jesus and a therapist too. And I wholeheartedly believe that, but as Southern African American people, that's a big thing. We take everything to God. And I take nothing from God in that aspect because we do take everything to God. And I, credit God as being the head of my life. But I also feel like just as God gave us doctors, and other people in the medical field, he also can give us a live person to help us work through things. And so that's what I try to do.
You're right, because you do have to have that outlet though. You do have to have somebody you can talk to that
Hmm.
nobody that don't know anything about you that's going to keep that rat with you because you have to release in some type of way. But I
Hmm.
think therapy is something that everybody needs.
Yes.
But being raised that way, as now in my age time, I'm like, yeah, I think, therapy is suggested now.
Yes. Yes.
So now I
We
know.
have definitely
Huh?
seen some growth in the field through the years. Yeah.
Nice. So now on the flip side, now I know that there's some challenging, parts about being a counselor. What are some challenging parts about it?
I think for me, one big challenge would be making sure that I have a good balance. And what we see, we are looked at as fixers. A lot of times, people that go into being a therapist, a social worker, or something, we want to help people fix their problems. But recognizing that I'm only a, I am a agent of change. I'm
Mm,
not there to fix my clients. I'm helping them to get to where they need to be and to reach their resolution. So sometimes that is, especially initially when I started, that was a challenge.
mm,
Also, one thing I find as a challenge, especially trying to, I've been trying to build up like my practice in Marion County in a rural
mm,
area. And you would think, okay, everybody know me, it's gonna be easy, but we still have a lot of people that, oh, I can't do that because people gonna think I'm crazy.
mhm, mhm. You
With
know
that
it. You know it.
mindset. And so being able to overcome that and not see that as an obstacle to what we're doing.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about your private practice, heart to heart empowerment.
So Heart to Heart Empowerment Services is my baby, of course. So I founded it in June of my years running together. 2019.
That's the age telling on
Um,
you.
yeah. So right at 5 years, and I started with just my office here in Florence, and that was when I established my practice. Thinking about a name, one thing that was very big to me was that I wanted to break down the stigma. And so I wanted something that was going to capture um, what my mission was and the meaning of who I am and being the heart of it. But I also didn't want it to be something where people would say, I can't go over there because that's the counseling center, or say mental health or
Hmm.
anything. So that's why I came up, I feel like God gave me the name Heart to Heart Empowerment Services, because what I aim to do, I am seeking to empower people, helping people to restore relationships. And also, I done forgot my tagline. Oh my goodness. Let me look at it. You just threw me a healing hearts, empowering minds, and restoring relationships, one encounter at a time. And so that's what I strive to do. And so, like I said, I have an office in Florence. I've been working out of a co-working corner in Marion for the last 6 months, and
Nice.
trying to see how that would go to get some grounding in Marion County.
Nice. I
It's just
love
me
it.
right now running the practice. So I do everything from beginning to end, which is a lot in itself. A
Yeah.
lot.
That's a
Yes.
lot. You wearing a lot of hats.
Yes, definitely. But it is also rewarding because I see the fruits from the beginning to the end, not only for me, but also for my clients. I am planning to become a licensed supervisor because I do want to bring on associates to work in the practice as well and provide other services such as case management.
Hmm, nice. So, what qualities do you think a person has to have to be a good counselor or a great counselor?
Of course, need to have an open mind. You need someone that is going to be unbiased, someone that can is relatable. I think that's a big thing for me, because we have the idea, most people that aren't really familiar with mental health, before you come into it, about counseling, like you think about it in the sense of what you see on television
Hmm.
and how it's portrayed. And so I think a big part of it for me, a quality that I look for, is authenticity. And I tell people, being able to be who you are and being able to meet other people where they are. That's a big, because it's not about the therapist.
Right.
It's not your journey. You are only there to help other people along their journey. So being able to remove yourself, but also in a sense that sometimes it requires you to be vulnerable and be transparent about experiences that you have had, because there will be times, where self disclosure is needed.
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Experiences are the best teachers. I
Hmm.
still wholeheartedly believe that.
Yes.
So, can you describe like a typical session, like, and what techniques or tools you might use?
So it varies according to who I am working with. If I'm working with children, a lot of times I start them off, by checking in, of course, see how things have been, and I do that with adults as well. But a big part of working with children is being able to engage them at their level. And so a lot of that may come in with using games, coloring, different activities of that nature. Just whatever you can find to get a child to open up. They're not going to sit and talk most of the time,
Right.
especially a small child, very openly is at first. And so you have to be able to build that rapport with them. For my adults, when they come in, we do the check in as well, and then a lot of times I ask them, okay, do you have anything in mind that you want to work through today? because it's not my journey, it's theirs.
There's
And then I like to just use that as an anchor to what we go through according to what we did in the previous session. And then I let it be natural, however it flows.
it
Yeah.
flows. Nice. I love it. So we're gonna take a quick break right here. We're gonna come back and dive a little bit more in the conversation.
Okay.
If I can leave you with anything, I want to leave you with this. Hear me clearly when I say this. There are people who come in your life sometimes to be there for a season. They weren't meant to be there always. Sometimes we find ourselves hooked up with people that we think are there for a lifetime, but they were only supposed to be there for a season. There are people who come in your life like boosters for a rocket. If you ever watch a rocket go into space, the boosters fall off when it reaches a certain altitude. Some people are not equipped to handle the altitudes that you're going to. So don't be afraid when they fall off. They're not bad people. They just couldn't go where you're going.
Right, so what are some common issues or challenges that you think people seek therapy or counseling for today?
Today, I see a lot of people that's dealing with a lot of grief on various levels. Especially since the pandemic, we have had an overflow of grief. Depression, anxiety, life stress in itself are some of the biggest ones. Yeah.
Nice. So how can you prepare those clients to get the most out of those therapy sessions, especially when they're grieving someone or mourning someone?
Well, I'll start and say grief is one of those things that it's not a linear process, and so nobody grieves the same. And when I do grief therapy, I approach it in a sense of meeting, as always, meeting a person where they are and helping them to be able to process and work through the stages of grief at their comfort level. Give them some tools that might be beneficial for them. Some people like to journal. Some people feel, they need to do like have things left unsaid. And so I might recommend that they write letters, to the person that they have lost and express those feelings. Now that we have technology, I've even had people that do like voice recordings and just whatever technique it is that helps them to be able to express those feelings and then also process them as well.
Now those letters are a great idea because I've actually done that before. Wrote down something to that person that maybe I want to let go, and then after that, burn it.
Yes.
And it actually works. Like that
Yes.
type of works because it helps you with your healing process to like get over that person, if that makes sense.
It
So
does. And I
that's a
tell
good
people,
technique.
even people that tell me like they don't want to do the writing, I feel like writing is therapeutic in itself. Just the nature of feeling the pencil or pen on paper and you expressing it and you pressing down and you can see the difference in your handwriting, as you are going through it. And so I encourage people to try to do that instead of like doing email or text. But some people prefer to do it that way, but however you can release it. Grief is ugly. It's an ugly journey. Yeah.
Ooh, yes, it is. So, can you share a memorable success story, or maybe a case without breaching, anybody confidentiality that illustrates the impact that you have when it comes to counseling?
Okay. I think one comes into mind that a guy that I came in, middle age. He was adopted as a child, still had questions about his birth family. Um, we processed and kind of talked about where he was at. And I encouraged him to seek out, whatever things he could as far as ancestry and finding information. And he recently reached out to me. Actually, this past weekend, he called and left a message telling me that after 50 something years, he had found his mom, and siblings, and how appreciative he was, about all of the help that I provided him to get him to that point, to even be ready to seek out, any kind of avenues he could.
Nice. I love it. Look at you changing lives. I love it. Wow. It had to feel
That was
good when you got
amazing.
out. Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. Especially like, sometimes people have to get in a place where they want to, you know, meet that family. And being
Hmm.
the fact that you got him to want to be able to connect to people, that's big in itself. Nice.
Yes.
So are
Because
there
he went back
any
and forth for a while, and then he was like, I think I want to do it. And we approached it, and I helped walk him through it, um, at each point of emotion that he was feeling. Yeah.
nice. I love it. I love that for you for real. So are there any like online resources or apps that can particularly help people out there, deal with like mental wellness, mental health type issues that you suggest?
There's a lot that's out there. Some of them I'm skeptical because you always question the authenticity and whether
Mhm.
or not the people that is putting this information out, are they credentialed to do so?
Right.
Um, so I'm usually like really hesitant
Yeah,
to
I'm with you.
suggest, especially like different sites and stuff. I feel like any kind of self-help like podcast, it's always good to hear other people's perspective. But I always add that with the point of, seeking someone that is licensed or
Licensed.
credentialed as well. There is a site that I do use though, like for worksheets and stuff that's very helpful. It's called therapistaid.com. Now I use that with clients, so I'm comfortable with sharing that one. There's also let's see, what is it called? I have it on my phone. It walks you through like mindfulness and being able to do meditation and things like that during the day. My mind is, I get a reminder every morning. I'm trying to remember the name of it and see if I can find it real quickly. Ooh, it's not coming to me. It may come up before we get off, but I'm
Okay.
gonna see if I can remember it. I don't want to hold you with me trying to locate it, but anything of that nature that can help, like with meditation, YouTube in itself, especially if you're someone that does want to do like meditation, or something of that, you can pull up guided meditation and stuff on YouTube. YouTube
Nice.
is very resourceful. Yeah,
Very. You're right.
very
Very.
resourceful. Hmm.
So this
But
is that.
again, I
What?
also like say, especially I just caution with some stuff to make sure that, you follow up with
Right.
someone that is credentialed to help with some things.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree. So this is that out of box question that I said I would ask. So if you can go back and do one good deed, what would you do?
Hmm. One good deed that I haven't done.
Yeah, one good deed that you probably haven't done.
um, Maybe I used to say I wanted to be a foster parent or adopt. So that probably would be it.
Wow. Still
Mhm.
not too late.
It's not. It's not, but I caution. At my age, I'm like,
That patience, that patience. I know, I know. I'm with you on that. So as we get down to our last question, it's been a great conversation. This is my last question for you. Do you have any advice for those who may be hesitant to start therapy?
Try it. Like, try it. Find someone that you feel is able to meet you where you are, or there are so many sites where you can, screen therapists, Psychology Today, therapists for Black girls, um, different ones where you can look over profiles, identify somebody that you feel might be a good fit for you and try it. Don't listen to other people about their experience. Try it for yourself. Um, because I think that's the only way you're going to know, you know, and have in mind what it is that you feel like you need it for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have a goal, Don't just, I just want to go, think about it, because we all have something. We all have something that we could really use some help with. And not being, I think the biggest thing I would say, don't feel ashamed.
That's the biggest
Mhm.
thing. You're right. People do feel ashamed that they're in that position
Mhm.
now to need therapy, but everybody needs that outlet. And we're coming from
Everybody.
the South.
Everybody. I tell anybody, try it. Try it. If it's just one time. Like they tell us, even when we were preparing, when I was in my master's program, they recommended every therapist has a therapist.
Yeah.
Of course, because we're taking in so much. So we need to be able to have an outlet as well. But I tell anybody, try it. Try. It's not now you can have a bad experience. I will say that. And every therapist is not for every client, and every client is not for every therapist. But do your research. Try to find someone that you feel can meet your need and don't feel ashamed about approaching it.
Absolutely. That's some good advice. Try it.
Mhm.
Don't be
Try
ashamed.
it.
So we're down to your 30 seconds of fame. I'm gonna do your countdown. I want you to tell everybody how they can work with you as a counselor, where they can follow your journey as a counselor, any type of advice you want to give people out there to continue to push. I want you to shine as bright as you can. You from Mullins, South Carolina. I want you to shine on this stage today. So after the countdown, you're gonna be on the platform by yourself. This spotlight is gonna be on you.
Okay.
You ready? All right.
All right.
I'm healing. Things are looking better now. I'm slowly healing. I've been suffering for such a long, long time, but I made it over and I'm healing.
What I would like to leave with you is there is no journey like your own healing journey. When you decide that you are ready to embrace and approach your healing, do it wholeheartedly and don't feel ashamed. We've dealt very different hands in life. We've had different experiences. Try therapy. Try therapy. If anyone is interested in reaching me, you can follow me on Facebook, Heart to Heart Empowerment Services LLC. I have an office located in Florence, South Carolina. And like I stated before, I currently do go to Marion sometimes once a week. That does vary based upon availability. I also have a website that's WeHealEmpowerRestore.com. WeHealEmpowerRestore.com. You ever have a question, you want to reach out to me just to see, you may not be interested in services for me. You may need some resources. You can give me a call at 843-731-9016. But again, I encourage you, don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Seek your healing. Start the journey today if you can. There's no shame in it. Like, we all struggle with something. And there are some very, very good and authentic people out there that can help you along your journey. You owe it to yourself. We need to be whole in order to be our best self for other people. And always remember, whatever your pain has been, there's a purpose behind it. Whatever your experiences have been, there is a purpose behind it. And you want to be able to become whole so that you can use your purpose to do what it is that God has called you to do.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on Breaking the Silence to shine a light on you. I want you to continue to do great things, continue to shine. I'm proud of you and I'm rooting for you.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity and for bringing all of us on that you do and shedding light in various issues and topics. You are doing a wonderful job of reaching the masses. Continue to do what you're doing.
Thank you so much. It really does mean a lot when somebody from your hometown come on the platform. I'm like, there's so many great people in Marion County that, man, they would be surprised, man. We glowing and winning over there. They just don't know.
Yeah.
So when I get a chance to shine that light on y'all, I'll be so excited. I'm like, yes. Thank you. I'll forever remember this.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone else out there that's tuning into this amazing episode with we're gonna be auctioneers forever. So auctioneer from Mullins, South Carolina. Y'all make sure you follow her journey on Facebook, Heart to Heart Empowerment. I will also include the information as well on Facebook, where you can find her, how you can contact her, how you can follow her journey as a counselor. I'm very proud of her. It's always amazing experience when I can put someone from my hometown in the spotlight. So continue to know that you matter. Your life matters. Your voice matters. Anything that you want to do in this life, you can do it. I prove it every day when I come behind this mic. I can do it too. So with that being said, if I can take the courage to get behind this mic every day, guess what? Whatever you want to do in your life, you can do it as well. So continue to break the silence with Arthur Nicole and have a great day. Later. Thank you for joining me in another episode of Breaking the Silence. I hope that you have enjoyed our conversation today and it has inspired you to think deeper, speak louder, and take action. Remember, every voice matters, and together we can create a world where we all win and no one feels unheard. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Stay connected with me on social media for updates and more powerful stories. So until next time, keep breaking the silence and making a difference.